There's something timeless about the sound of a clasp closing, the quiet click of a handbag that's been with you through seasons, travels, and little life moments that matter. Maybe it once carried baby wipes and lipstick in the same pocket, or your first passport, or the note you never threw away. A handbag, after all, isn't just an accessory. It's a little archive of who we've been. But here's the thing about style after 60. It's not about holding on to every piece that once felt right. It's about editing with grace, so that what we carry today mirrors who we've become now. Because while youth once begged to impress, elegance now whispers essence. Yet so many women over 60 still reach for the same bags they did 20 years ago, the ones that feel safe or classic, but quietly drag down a look that deserves lightness and sophistication. And it's not about age, it's about evolution. Your handbag should lift your energy, not weigh it down visually or emotionally. So today, let's talk about the 7 types of bags that might be quietly holding you back, and what to carry instead. Because the right bag doesn't just complement your outfit, it completes your presence. Tell me, when was the last time a bag truly made you feel like you? Bag number 1. The heavy logo/status bag. We all remember that era when carrying a designer logo felt like the ultimate symbol of success. The shiny metal plate, the monogrammed pattern, the oversized initials, they told the world we had arrived. And back then, maybe we needed that validation. Maybe that logo helped us feel seen, especially in a world that too often overlooks women as they age. But something shifts with time. There comes a quiet confidence that doesn't need to shout anymore. When you walk into a room now, your presence already speaks volumes. Your grace, your poise, the way you carry yourself. A loud, logo-covered bag can actually distract from that energy, pulling attention away from you and toward a label that was never meant to define you in the first place. Logos also tend to date quickly. What once screamed chic can start to feel overly branded or heavy-handed. They rarely blend seamlessly with today's refined, minimalist aesthetic, especially when we're aiming for sophistication over show. And truthfully, after 60, understatement looks far more expensive than any monogram ever could. So instead of a bag that advertises a brand, reach for one that celebrates craftsmanship. Think smooth, buttery leather in neutral tones, a soft taupe, a deep navy, or a quiet stone gray. Look for clean lines, subtle stitching, and shapes that flow naturally with your silhouette. These are the kinds of details that whisper elegance rather than announce it. Imagine stepping out with a structured leather tote in a matte finish. No flash, no noise, just quiet refinement. It tells the world this woman knows quality and doesn't need to prove it. Because after 60, your bag shouldn't speak for you. It should harmonize with you, effortlessly, beautifully, and with timeless grace. Bag number 2. The over-embellished or sparkly bag. Once upon a time, a touch of sparkle felt irresistible. A jeweled clasp here, a chain strap there, sequins catching the light at a dinner party. It was fun, expressive, even glamorous. But as the years pass, the same shimmer that once felt celebratory can start to feel a little forced. When a bag tries too hard to sparkle, it can dim your natural radiance. There's an elegance that comes from ease, and overly embellished bags rarely whisper ease. Studs, rhinestones, metallic finishes, glitter, busy patterns, they tend to compete with your presence instead of complementing it. They draw the eye to the bag, not to the woman carrying it. And let's be honest, you are the main event. The truth is, sparkle has its place, but it shines best in subtle doses. A sleek gold zipper, a soft metallic sheen, a single brushed accent. Those small details feel refined, not restless. They catch the light gently, echoing the quiet glow of confidence rather than the flash of attention. Instead of glitter and heavy decoration, look for texture and tone. A soft pebbled leather, a woven finish, or a hint of sheen in a muted champagne color can bring depth without distraction. These choices add interest, not noise. They tell a story of maturity, not excess. Imagine walking into an evening event with a beautifully structured clutch in soft bronze, its surface glowing under the lights. No rhinestones needed. It doesn't demand to be noticed. It simply is noticed because it feels timeless, intentional, and gracefully understated. After 60, your elegance doesn't come from sparkle. It comes from serenity. The quiet glow of a woman who doesn't need her accessories to announce her worth. Because true shine isn't carried in your hand anymore. It's carried in your heart, and it shows in every graceful step you take. Bag number 3, the slouchy, unstructured tote. There's a kind of freedom that a big, soft tote once promised. Toss everything in, swing it over your shoulder and go. It felt relaxed, effortless, even artsy. For years, the unstructured tote was every woman's loyal companion. Roomy, forgiving, and always ready for life's chaos. But somewhere along the way, that easygoing shape started to work against us. The trouble with slouchy bags is that they lack form, and after 60, structure matters more than ever. Soft, sagging shapes can unintentionally make an outfit look tired or weighed down. They pull the eye downward, create imbalance, and hide the graceful lines of your silhouette. What once looked carefree can now read as careless. It's not that you need to trade comfort for polish, far from it. The key is to find bags that hold their shape, giving your overall look quiet strength and intention. A structured bag naturally lifts the posture and adds definition, just like a well-tailored jacket or a pair of perfectly cut trousers. It frames you beautifully, instead of melting into the background. Instead of an unstructured tote that collapses under its own weight, try a medium-sized satchel or a softly structured shoulder bag. Look for clean angles, gentle firmness, and quality materials that retain their form. You'll still have space for all your essentials, but the overall effect will be lighter, more composed, more you. Picture this: a beautifully crafted leather tote that stands tall beside you, its silhouette echoing your quiet confidence. It doesn't slump or sag. It complements your natural elegance. That's the kind of presence structure brings, silent, strong, and endlessly sophisticated. Because at this stage of life, we're no longer carrying everything. We're carrying only what matters, with intention, with grace, and with a beautiful sense of balance. Bag number 4. The bright color shock bag. There was a time when a bold red handbag or a vivid turquoise tote felt like a statement, a burst of personality in a sea of neutrals. And perhaps it served that purpose beautifully then. But as our style matures, something changes. We no longer need our accessories to shout our presence. We've learned the power of subtle impact, the kind that turns heads not with noise but with nuance. Bright, saturated bags can easily overpower an outfit, especially when paired with the softer color palettes that flatter most women over 60. Instead of lifting the look, they often break its harmony, making the overall image feel disconnected or harsh. The eye goes straight to the bag, and everything else fades behind it. That doesn't mean you must live in beige forever. Color, when chosen wisely, can be your greatest ally. The secret lies in tone and depth, in the muted, elegant shades that feel sophisticated rather than loud. Think dusty rose instead of fuchsia, deep olive instead of lime, rich wine instead of fire engine red. These hues still carry warmth and energy, but they blend beautifully with timeless wardrobes and mature complexions. You might be surprised how a muted color can actually make you appear more vibrant. A soft camel crossbody against silver hair, a misty blue satchel with a cream blouse. These combinations radiate harmony and polish. The goal isn't to erase color. It's to refine it so it supports your natural glow. So if that neon or cherry red bag still lives in your closet, it might be time to let it rest. Trade it for tones that whisper rather than shout, colors that echo your calm confidence and effortless grace. Because after 60, your presence is already luminous. You no longer need color to create energy. You are the energy. Bag number 5. The straw or fabric seasonal bag. Few things feel more summer than a woven straw tote or a floral canvas bag. They bring back memories of sunlit markets, seaside walks, and picnics with laughter floating through warm air. These bags once symbolized carefree living, light, breezy, spontaneous. But over time, that same casual charm can start to look a little misplaced, especially when worn beyond its season or paired with elegant, everyday attire. Straw, raffia, or cloth bags tend to lose their shape quickly, fray around the edges, and fade in color. What once looked playful can begin to seem worn or overly youthful, not in the fresh way, but in the trying too hard to stay young way. They also lack the structure and refinement that elevate an outfit. After 60, polish comes from intentional choices, not from nostalgic trends. That doesn't mean we have to abandon lightness. In fact, the goal is to evolve it. You can still carry that feeling of ease just through more sophisticated materials. Try a soft leather or suede bag in pale neutrals like sand, oat, or mushroom. These tones capture the same breezy energy but with elegance that works year-round. For warm weather outings, A linen-textured leather or a woven leather detail can hint at summer without looking seasonal or overly casual. It's the perfect balance of relaxed and refined, effortless yet composed. Imagine this. You're heading to brunch in a flowy cream dress, carrying a structured ivory tote with subtle texture. It feels light, modern, and graceful. No frayed edges, no fading prints, just quiet sophistication. Because your style now isn't about recreating the carefree energy of youth. It's about channeling that same joy, with elegance that only comes from knowing exactly who you are. Bag number 6. The overly functional tech bag. Somewhere along the line, many of us began carrying our lives on our shoulders, literally. Those oversized, multi-zippered tech bags with endless compartments promised efficiency and organization. Laptops, tablets, chargers, planners, everything had its place. And in the busy rhythm of work, travel, and family life, those bags made perfect sense. But after 60, life asks for a different kind of simplicity. The need to haul around half the house fades, replaced by the desire for lightness, in body and in spirit. The overly functional tech bag, with its stiff bulk and utilitarian look, can start to feel heavy, both visually and emotionally. It adds weight to your posture and often overwhelms softer, more elegant clothing silhouettes. Style at this stage thrives on balance, combining practicality with poise. You still deserve a bag that supports your lifestyle, but it should do so gracefully. Instead of a bulky nylon backpack or a structured briefcase, try a sleek crossbody or a compact leather tote with subtle organization inside. These options hold your essentials: phone, glasses, wallet, maybe even a tablet, without compromising elegance. Choose bags made from supple leather or refined vegan materials with simple closures and soft handles. Let go of the cluttered zippers, Velcro patches, and bulky straps. A lighter design naturally lifts your posture and your overall presence. Picture stepping into a cafe with a beautifully streamlined crossbody, minimal hardware, buttery texture, easy to carry. It says, "This woman moves with ease. She's mastered the art of having just enough." Because the truth is, you don't need a dozen compartments anymore. Your life is already organized beautifully, intentionally, and in ways no bag could ever contain. Bag number 7. The high-maintenance designer bag. There's no denying the allure of a beautiful designer handbag. The buttery leather, the delicate stitching, the prestige that once made us feel like we were stepping into our own little movie. Many of us saved, planned, and dreamed about owning one, and for a while it felt magical. A symbol of refinement and accomplishment. But not every luxury piece stands the test of time or lifestyle. Some designer bags are simply too high maintenance for the season of ease we're in now. They demand careful handling, constant cleaning, and cautious wear. One little scratch and the joy fades into worry. And truly, life after 60 deserves less anxiety, not more. A high-maintenance bag can also look overly precious, too polished, too stiff, or too fragile to blend with the effortless grace that defines this stage of life. The more we chase perfection in our accessories, the more we risk losing the natural elegance that comes from authenticity. Instead of babying a bag, choose one that moves with you. Opt for soft, well-made pieces that age beautifully, leather that develops character, finishes that don't fear a little wear. There's something powerful about a bag that tells a story, that becomes richer the more it's used. It's not about pristine luxury anymore. It's about living luxury, the kind that fits your rhythm and feels like a companion, not a trophy. Imagine reaching for a refined, gently structured bag that doesn't demand attention or caution, just quietly complements every outfit, every day. That's real sophistication. Effortless, confident, and entirely your own. Because true luxury at this age isn't about the label. It's about liberation, the freedom to live beautifully without worrying about a single scratch. Here's the beautiful truth. A handbag is never just a handbag. It's a companion, one that's walked beside you through milestones, laughter, loss, and quiet reinvention. Each one you've carried has reflected a chapter of who you were then. But now this season of life calls for a different kind of elegance. One that isn't about collecting but curating. Letting go of those old, heavy, overworked bags isn't about rejection. It's about release. It's choosing to carry less, not because you have less to say, but because you finally understand what deserves space in your story. Every time you trade a flashy, fussy, or impractical piece for something that feels balanced and true, you're making a declaration. I know myself now. And that's enough. Your bag doesn't need to shout who you are. It should quietly echo it. Soft lines, graceful materials, and thoughtful design mirror the same qualities that make a woman over 60 magnetic. Composure, warmth, and quiet confidence. The kind that doesn't chase attention, it attracts it effortlessly. So maybe this week, take a slow look at your collection. Which bags still carry your energy, and which are holding you back in the past? Let this be a gentle edit, not of your wardrobe but of your energy. Because style at its best isn't about adding more. It's about refining until only truth remains. And when you step out the door bag in hand, heart at ease, remember this. The most beautiful thing you'll ever carry isn't leather or gold. It's the grace of a woman fully at home in her own story. Tell me, which bag from your collection feels like your next chapter?